book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Shemir Kahakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And salutation to the Akams that's pushing the truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this video be edifying first and foremost to the whole elect, then to those that cleave to the body. And technically, all right, the wicked is in trouble as other men now. Okay, that's a shameful spewing. All right, upon their habitation. Okay, they've been found out. The Lord have made them naked. Okay. So technically, all right, as of now, all right, they wasn't in trouble as other men until the Lord began to bring them down. You know, when they thought to exalt themselves or make their habitation high, all right, then Lord said, then thus will I bring them down, right? You know, once they say it in their heart and their pride, they should be like the Most High. And, you know, even with putting their satellites in the sky, all right, this man began to fall. And what we're doing, all right, the prophets is the primary source to actually, this devil, to bend this devil kryptonite, right? By speaking the words of truth, right? Bringing the will over lies, all right? What it has done, it has weakened the devil and his strengths, all right? With the, the art of illusion, all right? The plethora of lies and deception. Okay, the prophets have brought light over the darkness, man. You see? So now they are in trouble as other men. And this is what this lesson will be about today. Okay? And just to show it, okay, this is Job 18, because it's been prophesied that there was going to be in trouble. It was a time where, okay, they wasn't in trouble like other men when America was great, all right? And they had the world in a chokehold a lot. But now the Lord is loosening their strength of their habitation, man. All right? Because, again, the kingdom was, translated by blood, all right? And they didn't get it right, okay? They stole everything. He a thief, a robber, and a murderer. Okay, so the Lord have laid a snare in their way. Right? He gave them the blessing to pillage the earth by the way of the sword. All right. But the sword was going to devour him. You see? So he has always been in trouble since the day he began to draw on earth. Matter of fact, let me get that. Okay. This is, I think it's Wisdom of Solomon. And then I'll come right back to that Job. All right. Because obviously, Job is the end time prophecy. This is the chapter that I'm gonna read about Esau, Edom, man, and what shall happen to him in his latter days. And a lot of times, men don't consider the latter times, man. They don't consider the end. You see, this is Wisdom of Solomon 5. And 13, it says, even so, we in like manner, as soon as we be born, begin to draw to our end, and had no sign of virtue to show, but we're consumed in our own wickedness. You see? So a lot of times, all right, men set themselves, as Eve set up an empire of wickedness. All right. He didn't realize that he began to draw to his end. All right. Not considering his latter end, man. Okay. Lord, hey. Let me see. Yeah, Deuteronomy 32 and 29. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. You see? Because again, they came back. They said we will rebuild. They was impoverished, all right, but they was just like they're gonna come back. They're gonna rebuild the old wilderness and the deserts of old. All right, I merely paraphrase that. All right, only for an empire to be broken down. And ironically, this is the year that they're celebrating the 250 year of the empire. All right, which also marks the end. So the Lord allowed these devils to enjoy wickedness for a season till he be taken out of the way. All right. Remember, him that now let it will let, which means that's the Most High. All right, allowing this devil to plant itself in wickedness and evil so he could uproot them. You see, this is Job. Did I read 14? No, I read 14, Salagia. And Wisdom of Solomon. It says, for the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which disperseth here and there with a tempest, and passeth away as a remembrance of a guest that tarried before day. You see that? So their confidence has been, hope goes back to confidence, man. That's your fate. So the fate of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind. All right, technically it appeared there, right? But then it'll be gone suddenly, man. All right. And it's fitting that the Lord, gonna have that destroying wind come up on the whore or the ungodly, man. Because the destruction of the world marks a wicked king who, if your world is being destroyed, the king at that time have to be a wicked king. All right, that's just a general perspective of the Lord breaking down the earth. Whenever the Lord called judgment on cities or places, it was because wickedness had done completely consumed it. All right, it had been a driving force of that nation, and this is what has happened with E, man. This is Job 18:10. It says, the snare is laid for him in the ground and the trap for him in the way. Because remember, everything that he done because the Lord let him get so high up, all right, with the power of the sword, all right, he thought he was all together. The Lord was with him in this judgment, man. But the whole time the Lord was laying a snare for E. It says, terror shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet. All right. It says his strength shall be hunger bitten and destruction shall be ready at his side. And these devils, these devils under pressure. All right. Yeah, they having their formal meetings and, they get togethers. All right. The congregation of satanic thoughts and counsels. All right. Because the Lord is shortening their time, man. All right, these devils scrambling now. All right, they know they not are they real sloppy. All right, their mouths is testifying against them. Okay, their own people is have betrayed them. Oh, this devil became the target or the center or the talking point of the earth because he have ruined everything, man. All right, and blamed and point the finger at everybody but himself. It says his strength shall be hunger bitten and destruction shall be ready at his side. See, so when was Job? And Job prophesied a while ago, many thousands of years ago, and he's speaking about the way that Esau gonna be pressured. Now remember, they had to go into Job was like, they had to go back into the clefts of the rocks and the caves, come back out. All right. And then in the end, they're gonna get taken out of the clefts of the rocks again. When the angels and the men of the Lord get those spiritual powers. All right, they was taken out for a time, all right, when Jake, had put them in the Caucasus Mountains back in history, and then they came back and they rebuilt the desolate places. All right. They set their heart and pride on high, and that's how you see in the world we living in now. All right, but the Lord is here to break things down. It says, It's getting ready to break things down. It says, it shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength, man. All right. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. That's the point we got to harp on. All right. His confidence going to be rooted out. Okay. Because remember, I started it off with saying he's not in trouble as other men. Now I'm going to read that in the NLT. It says they are torn from the security of their homes and brought down to the king of terrors. Which the king of terrors that's ultimately Yahweh. All right. But it's going to be done by Yahweh Shai and his angels, man. All right. They going to terrorize Esau, Edom, man. All right. And the earth and all that stand in wickedness are in alliance with these devils, man. All right. They're torn from their security. So they're in trouble now. Right. They say the walls cover them. Who shall see them? All right. Now the Lord have broken those walls of wickedness down. Right. And shine the light. He done put the magnifying glass, on the small beast, man. But if you know anything about the magnifying glass, it burns the creature. All right. Because it give a direct shot from the sun or that fire, that heat right on with his, it give a direct beam. All right. The Lord gonna hit E with his own dew weapon. All right. As they did, as they destroyed with it, he gonna be destroyed with it also, man. All right, let me keep going in this jewel, because all of it is good. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. And again, right, the way that they inherited the earth was just only by biblical prophecy. Right? Promotion comes neither from the east nor the west, but it's the Lord that set it up. You see that? This devil have no inheritance, man. So it's gonna dwell in his tabernacle, meaning his house, all right, that he's in control of. Remember in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right. Wait, for a time, just for a time. Okay? It says, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation, man. That's fire. All right. And this is how you know that this devil kingdom gonna go out by fire, because he's ruling in the last times. It's him. This is how you know it's talking about Esau, Edom. His root shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth. He shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world, man. This ain't no light feed here. All right. The Lord about to chase Esau ass down. He gonna be as a chase row, as a goat, a running goat, man. He, he like to say, the goat, right, is a representation of E, the greatest of all time. But hey, he gonna be chased out of the world, man. They ain't gonna the Lord gonna make him, stand up to the he shall stand up to the prince of princes, but he gonna be broken. All right, but either, like you said, they're gonna retreat. They're gonna run into the holes of the rocks. All right, and tell that to fall on them. Let's get that. This devil habitation, man. See that? This Revelation 6 and 16. I'm gonna start at 15. All right. It says, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. It said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on a throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, man. See that? It says, for the great day of his wrath is come, who shall be able to stand? Right? Because I read earlier, it's going to drive him to his feet. You know? They're going to end up being as a chase row, and every hand going to be on him. Okay? It says, he shall neither have son or nephew, right? Isaiah 14 and 21. Okay? Among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. Let's get that. All right, since I mentioned it. And remember, this is all about, all right, this lesson in general, them being in trouble, man. All right. Isaiah 14 and 21, it says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. See, it was a time when they wasn't in trouble. But now that trouble has what? Come unto them, man. Right? The curses them being reversed on them. So they are technically they in trouble now, man. And call Allah for that. Right? It says, for I will rise up against them, said the Lord of hosts, and cut off Babylon, the name and remnant and son and nephew, said Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. All right, and Babylon goes back to Babel, all right, in the Hebrew, which means confusion, but the Lord gonna cut it off. And remember, Babylon was already cut off. All right, so this talking about what? That new Babylon, you see, because it's gonna be swept with the Bessemer destruction. You know what? Let me get that. I think it's Jeremiah 51 and 49. Stay with me real quick. All right. I think this is it. I want to say it is. Yep. Jeremiah 51 and 49. As Babylon had caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth, man. See that? So at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. So this is where the great destruction is going to happen, along with the great deliverance. This is the city that's targeted to be judged. Just like in the time of Noah, the Lord flooded the whole earth, the world at that time, or the current world. All right. In Sodom and Gomorrah, the Lord targeted those cities. All right. But there was still parts of the earth remaining. The Lord ain't about to kill the whole earth. All right. He's about to, it's going to be a controlled demolition on America. All right. And obviously the homeland. All right. And other places going to get hit. But the main focal point of the judgment of the Lord is on, is Babylon, aka America. You see? And the rulers thereof. Now let's go back to the Job 18 and I had read 19. All right. I'm read 20. They that come after him shall be stoned at his day, as they that went before were affrighted. You see? Let's look at this up in the NLT. See, the people in the west are appalled at their fate. The people in the east are horrified. All right, but the one before, they that come after him shall be stoned at this day, man. They're going to narrowly look upon this devil like this was he. All right, that controlled this, that had the strength of this was the traffickers of the earth, the merchants. All right, the man that just, that people saw as the Most High. This is he. It says, surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not God. All right. And these devils don't know the Most High, man. The Lord is not in none of their thoughts. All right. Which the Lord is controlling their thoughts for them to not have him in their thoughts, man. Not to fear him, not to revere him. All right. To constantly be the children of disobedience unto him. You see that? To be a dishonorable seed. To be a wicked offspring that's cursed, man. You know, the Lord have did that to their heart. And it was intentionally done. This is Proverbs 11:7. When a wicked man died, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of the unjust men perisheth. You see? So this devil hope, his confidence shall be rooted out. It says the righteous is delivered out of trouble, which that's what we, in the phase of right now, getting out of trouble. Our iniquity and our punishment has come to an end. And then someone has to go into the place of the punishment. It says the righteous is delivered out of trouble and the wicked coming in his stead, man. All right? Let me get that. Kings is disgraced. Okay. Salage. He when it don't want to pull up. Get in instead. The righteous coming instead, all right? Yep. It's Sirach 10:14. I'm start at 13. Start at 12. The beginning of pride. All right. And when you got the word pride, you could put the face of Esau, Edom. All right. You so-called white people. All right. You gonna have his face there. All right. It's gonna be in this nigga obituary. All right. Pride. You put his face right there. He lived a prideful life and died pridefully. It says for the beginning of pride is when 1 verse 12 departed from his power and his heart is turned away from his maker. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that had it shall pour out an abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. See? It says the Lord cast down the thrones of the proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. So one got to go, all right, and then one got to be set up. So we're exiting, literally, all right, our captivity and judgment, and Esau is entering his judgment, man. It says the Lord had plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. The Lord overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth, man. He took some of them away and destroyed them and had made their memorial to cease from the earth, man. You see what's happening? So Proverbs 11:7, when a wicked man died, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of the unjust men perisheth. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked coming into his stead, man. Hey, the Lord is a God of balance, man. The Most High is a God of balance and judgment. All right, let me get a couple more precepts and get out of here. All right, this is Psalms. With me here. 1 and 4. It says, let's start at 3. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters. He is the man that delight in the law of the Most High, a righteous man. All right, he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters. Talking about the elect, man, the stability of the elect that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the shaft which the wind driveth away, man. See that? They are not so. They appear for a moment, then what? Boom, judgment hit. See that? Scatter with the wind. And wind refers to destruction too. All right. So that wind, the Lord gonna lift up a destroying wind on back. That's why he holding back the winds. All right. To the servants of the Lord be sealed in their forehead. Then he gonna let the winds go. And they speak about that in Revelation. There's a time where he hold the winds, and then a chapter or two later, he let the winds go, man. Okay? And this is what's at hand here. This is our Psalms 68. And 2. I'm gonna start at 1. The chief musician, a song or song of David. Let the Most High arise, let his enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melted before the fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of our power, man. Woo, woo. See that? As the smoke is driven away. So the Lord likening this devil as a vapor that appeared before a moment, then gone. Come on, man. There ain't nothing this devil could do. This is it. All right. He had a good run. Yeah. You had a good wicked run. All right. All right. This is Psalms. Since I'm in Psalms, get this 37 and 9 and 10. It says, For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahweh, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. Right? Again, Isaiah 14, they're going to narrowly look upon him. They like, what the hell? This is he? So his place, consider it, and it shall not be. Right now, he's still in rulership. All right, the Lord done weaken the dollar. Any vice this devil using, all right, the Lord is breaking it down. All right, now he don't have no cloak for his maliciousness and his wickedness no more. There's nothing to cover him. You see, the Lord have completely exposed this devil, right, by the spirit of the martyr of the prophets, man. The Lord done packed him up. He packed up, man. All right, you're done. This is it. This is it, man. Let's get these. Let's get out of here. This Sirach 3:28. In the punishment of the proud, there's no remedy, for the plan of wickedness had taken root in him. All right, ain't no remedy. It's gonna be raw and uncut, man. All right. Come on. See that? So, again, now it's time for that shameful spewing on these devils, man. All right? And that's keeping them in trouble. Because you couldn't talk about these devils, all right, of old. They'll come see you, man. They'll drop a hydrogen bomb on you. Lil Man and Fat Man. Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Okay? They'll put the do weapon on you. Yeah, do this, do that, drones, and drop bombs but now, all right, men come do it back to them, man. But ultimately this virgin has to get The virgin daughter of Babylon have to get touched up, man. You know, get brutally and violently deflowered. You know, Babylon is gonna get brutally, all right, unmercifully deflowered, man. You see that? The virgin daughter of Babylon is being deflowered as we currently speak. So I don't want to write this out. It was edifying, man. Till next time, I see Shalom.